Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy WattsTV, man, and today we have a topic video. But before we get into that, couple of announcements. So I told you guys that I was going to vlog about, me building my content creator room and putting my desk up and yada yada blah blah blah. And I vlogged, I recorded everything, but the footage got corrupted somehow. I cannot make this shit up. So with that being said, I'm gonna make a separate video for you guys just to basically show off the room, because a lot of work was pretty much put into this, and I'm proud of it. I wish it was documented a little more, but here we are. It's all good. Shit happens, man. It is what it is. But yes, as you can see, the setup is a tiny bit different. Got the desk, goes up and down, real fancy. Like, look at that. That shit crazy. All I gotta do is hit a button, bam, and it's back down. Shout out to Uplift, man. They make some quality ass desks with shitty directions. Oh my gosh. I'm not even gonna get into that. But before we get into the video, also please do me a favor, do not forget to share, like, and subscribe. It's been really helping me out with the channel, and I really do appreciate you guys for that. And also follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Watts_TV94. That is twitch.tv/Watts_TV94. So I'm almost at 100 followers, and you guys already know it's spooky season, so I've been playing a lot of horror games, a lot of scary games, and so far it's been a whole lot of fun. So guys, please do me a favor and come into the stream, say what's up, have a couple of laughs, jump scares, etc, blah blah blah. So yeah, follow me on Twitch, almost at 100 followers. Anyway, today's topic video is Dave Chappelle. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. Now, I'm not even gonna hold you guys. I was very I was hesitant on this one. I was real hesitant to talk about this one because there's always that fear of you getting canceled, and I never want to offend anybody. I never want to offend anybody like at all. So yeah, I just want to say before we start, I have the utmost respect for the LGBTQ community. Like, I have no problems with you guys. I support you guys. Like, I understand your struggle. Trust me, while you are getting judged for your sexuality, I am constantly judged by the color of my own skin. We should be like this. Like, I feel you, all right? I have no problem with the LGBTQ community. So I just wanted to start there. Now, for those of you who do not know, Dave Chappelle has a new stand-up on Netflix, and it has been offending a lot of the LGBTQ. It has been offending a lot of the LGBTQ community. It is so hard for me to say that goddamn acronym sometimes, but mainly, trans people who are transsexuals. So I posted on my community page that I was going to be talking about this, right? And a lot of my supporters, a lot of my followers are pretty much like-minded. They think how I do. We pretty much agree on certain things. And if we don't agree, hey, it's all good. It is what it is. But everybody pretty much said the same thing. He was telling the truth. They don't see anything wrong with what he was saying. Look, I get it. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I 1000% understood where Dave Chappelle was coming from. But with that being said, you also have to look at the other perspective as well, because there were parts in that special where I was like, okay, I can understand why a trans person would be offended by this. But I'm making this video because I genuinely do not think that Dave Chappelle has any hatred towards the LGBTQ community or the trans community. He does not have any hatred towards them. I don't think he dislikes them at all. To be honest with you, I just sense a lot of frustration, and I'm gonna explain that. So as you guys can see, I took hella notes just because I wanted to make sure that like some of my thoughts were like really in order and concise. So yeah, all right. So I do not think Dave Chappelle is trying to spread hatred towards the trans community at all. Like I said, I think this comes from frustration. And I say this because of this one quote. So some of this is me paraphrasing, but this is basically what he said in a nutshell. You think I hate gay people, but I'm jealous of gay people. We look at that movement and say, damn, look how well that movement is going. We have been at it for hundreds of years. How are you making this much progress? Guys, I'm not gonna hold you. Like, as a black man, I felt that. I 1000% felt that. There has been more acceptance over the years for the LGBTQ community rather than the African American community. Like, we are still literally fighting to have anti-lynching laws in some states. Do you know how ridiculous that is? Anti-lynching, saying that you cannot lynch someone. There has been a lot of progress made in the LGBTQ community, but unfortunately, not as much of progress has been made on our side. And I get it. It is extremely frustrating. So I think that is one of the main reasons where his frustration is coming from. And again, I get it. And and before that, he talked about the baby. All right. I don't even know where to start with this one. Okay, so he said, and I quote, "In our own country, you can shoot and kill a nigga, but you do not hurt a gay person's feelings." Again, as a black man, I feel that too. And he pretty much said that because the baby literally killed someone in a Walmart and no one really cared. Everybody was just like, wow, that's wild. The baby killed somebody in Walmart. It didn't go to jail for it, okay? I do not know the specifics of that story, but it is very true. You can look it up for yourself. People were more concerned that he said negative, ignorant things. Like, I get it. It was ignorant. He said negative, ignorant things about the LGBTQ community. People were more upset about that than him actually taking another life. And honestly, you can do a lot of things in Hollywood and just in life in general. But if you fuck with the LGBTQ community, yo, that's a wrap. He said it in his stand-up special himself. One of Kevin Hart's dreams was to host the Oscars, but they wanted to make him apologize for tweets that he made years ago, even though he already apologized for it. Wanted him to apologize again. So, and because of that, Kevin Hart wasn't able to host the Oscars. There are real repercussions for going after the LGBTQ community or just saying anything like negatively about them. I mean, again, what Kevin Hart tweeted, he shouldn't have. What the baby said, he shouldn't have. That was real ignorant and stupid. Like, I get it. I get it, all right? But when people apologize, when they say that they are trying to grow, how are we going to let them grow if you do not let that shit go? So there is one thing that Dave Chappelle said that really stuck out to me, and something that I've said to myself, and this one really bugs me about certain people who are a part of the LGBTQ community. So he said, gay people are minorities until they need to be white again. A black gay person would never call the police on another black person. So there was a specific situation that Dave was referring to and that he was talking about on stage, where he got into an altercation with someone who was a part of the LGBTQ community. And to make a long story short, that person called the police on Dave, even though the situation wasn't really that serious to the point where he needed to call the police. But just because he was Dave Chappelle and there was some sort of altercation, he felt the need to call the police. So here's the thing. That pisses me off as well, because a lot of the LGBTQ community, so they say that they are oppressed. They say that they are minorities. But as a fellow minority, you should know the repercussions of calling the police on a black person if you do not really feel threatened, or if the situation does not call for that. That could have ended badly for that man's life. Now, don't get me wrong. If you genuinely feel threatened, or you feel like you will be harmed, or you are currently being harmed, or what have you, then yes, I understand. Call the police. But don't use that shit as a shield. I cannot stand that. And that's just one example. But there have been plenty of instances where some white people throw away that, that LGBTQ branding and identify as a white person, and you're not the minority anymore. I can't throw away my skin color. You feel me? So when he said that, I like, as a black man, again, I got it. Like, I understood. Okay. Here is where I side with the LGBTQ community. This is where I understand. Okay. This is the story where I understand their outrage. So guys, you have to look at both perspectives. Dave told another story where he was basically in a club. Matter of fact, let me back up. A lesbian woman claimed that Dave beat her up in a nightclub and tried to sell it to TMZ. TMZ did not take the story because they didn't believe that it happened. So Dave got into another altercation, this time at a club. So Dave was basically in an altercation with a trans woman. I think it was a trans woman. Correct me in the comments down below if I'm wrong. Anyway, to make a long story short, they get into it. The woman actually swings at him, and then he says she threw a punch, she missed, and he was punching her titties. And he made a joke about it. Okay. All right. So this is where I can see where some people would be upset, and some people would say that he's spreading hate speech and whatever. Like, while I don't necessarily agree, I understand why you would say that. Guys, keep in mind, you cannot agree with somebody but completely understand why they are saying something. So trans people are killed every day just because they are trans. There is a constant fear of that, and I 1000% get it. And there are genuine people who have real hate in their hearts towards, trans individuals. So if you hear a story like that, as being a trans person, I get it that you can take it as this man is spreading hate, and this man is basically potentially spreading violence to other people who already may hate them. Like, guys, that I 1000% get. Come on, guys, you have to put yourself in other people's shoes. Like, when I heard that story, I said, okay, he could have left that one out. Like, that one wasn't necessary. But this story that Dave told toward the end of his comedy special, it was so heartfelt. And this really lets me know that this man does not have any hatred in his heart towards trans individuals. I feel that, again, he's frustrated with you guys, and he wants to understand you guys as well. Just like a lot of us. Everybody needs to understand everybody. Like, I get it. But this story in particular, man, yeah, this pretty much let me know. And I'm willing to bet money that a lot of you who are basically calling to cancel Dave Chappelle didn't listen to the entire special to hear this last part. So he basically said one of the coolest people that he knows is a white trans woman. He let her open a show for him. She only did comedy about 8 times in her life, and she was an amateur. So for the show that she opened up for him, he pretty much said that she bombed for about 45 minutes straight. And I noticed as he was telling this story, he would pause, and then he would laugh, he would smile, but it just seemed like mad heartfelt. So he said that she didn't leave, even though she bombed. I thought this shit was dope, right? He said that she did not leave the comedy club. Most comedians, when they bomb, they'll leave, they'll be embarrassed. You got that stank on you. You just bombed, so you don't want people to be like, damn, nigga, that was rough. You just bombed. You already know that you fucked up, all right? You don't need to hear it from a lot of other people. No, she actually stood there and ate up every word that Dave Chappelle was saying, just being a student of comedy. This man said she did not leave her seat. Watched him front row, just absorbing everything. I thought that shit was hard. So when the Sticks and Stones special came out, that was his Netflix special that came out before. I think that was the last one. She got a lot of heat for that because she was constantly defending him on Twitter. And a lot of the LGBTQ community, a lot of the trans community said that Dave would constantly punch down on them. I didn't even know what that meant until he explained it. So his friend, her name was Daphne, would constantly defend him on Twitter. And she basically said that punching down on someone requires a person to look down on that other group, and says that he does. And this is coming from a trans person themselves. But unfortunately, the story took a dark turn. His friend Daphne actually killed herself. And you can tell that shit really bothered him. He even said that he was angry at her for it. He said he didn't know if the comments were getting to her, on Twitter. And maybe he even feels responsible a little bit. I'm sure that really got to him. But you can tell, this story seems so heartfelt. So this is something that I bet a lot of you guys who are calling for him to be canceled, I'm willing to bet money that you did not hear this and that you did not listen to this. So the woman that was trans, his friend Daphne, she had a daughter. He started a trust fund for her daughter. And this is a real interesting point. And I don't know before I say this, but he said, I don't know what the LGBT community has done for her, but I'm going to tell you what I did for her. I'm going to let you take that in however you want, okay? I'm not going to comment on that, but... And this is one of the last quotes that he said, which I thought was fire. He said, empathy is not gay. It's not black. Empathy is bisexual. It needs to go both ways. And that's something that I always said, right? I always say that we can disagree with each other all the time. All the time. It's fine. Guys, we're human. We are not going to agree on every fucking thing, and we are always going to have differences. It's okay. It's a part of life. But at the same time, you need to have sympathy and empathy for each other. You need to realize that we are all going through our own shit. Blacks, gays, whatever. We are all going through some shit. We just need to understand each other. So do I think Dave Chappelle, do I think that he hates the LGBTQ community, women, or just gay people in general? Dude, no, I don't. I just think, like the rest of us, he's learning, and I think he has some frustrations, which is fine, and he has a platform to voice those frustrations. Do I think some of his jokes possibly went a little too far? Me personally, I don't feel that way, but I understand why you would feel that way. But guys, that's pretty much all I have to say about this situation. If my thoughts were all over the place, I apologize. I do not know how this video is going to turn out, but hey, hope it turns out well. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you agree with anything that I said? Do you disagree? Please do me a favor. Let me know in the comments down below. And again, do not forget to share, like, and subscribe. Please subscribe. A lot of you that are watching don't even subscribe to the channel. Stop being a bum and subscribe to the channel. I'm giving you guys free content, man. Come on. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button. That's it. That's all you got to do. And do not forget to follow me on the Twitch as well. All right. But with that being said, man, I'm out. It's your boy WattsTV. Peace.